Welcome, everybody, to the Gil Hodges Podcast. Today's guest, I've got here with me Bryan Culpepper, and he's been a good friend of mine now for a few years. Kind of funny story how we first met, because we were living in Colorado at the time, and you pulled up in your truck. I hadn't met you before.
Right.
Here's this guy drives up, pulls in my driveway. I'm outside working in the yard, and Bryan rolls down his window and says, "What did you say? Is this
is this Gil Hodges' place or something?"
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, well, who's in this? I guess I was kind of rude, but at the same time, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who's asking? Anyway, that was how we first met. And anyway, had a really good time when you showed up there.
We did.
And it's been a good time altogether. Now
We did, man.
I've moved here to Mississippi, and you didn't say, what the heck you doing moving here? It's like,
Everything. If I thought about it, I came over and said that, man.
But you've got a unique skill that you've put into place. Number one, you're a great musician.
Oh, thank you.
And I love, that's one of the things I love about being here in Mississippi is it seems like at least one, two, three times a week you're playing somewhere. And I love being able to go out and just hang out with you and hear the music.
A lot of fun.
Good music.
Yeah, man.
A lot of family. Your family comes out and friends, and so it's a good time. So I love that about being here. And but you've got this skill that you have now moved into and implemented into the frequencies that I've been fascinated with. But actually, before I get into all that, before we jump into all that, why don't you give everybody a little bit of background as to how you got to where you're at? Because I know you used to be a pastor, and now, we're all kind of in this place where we've deconstructed from a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It doesn't happen overnight either, Gil. It takes a little work and dedication. It really does. You'd think you could just deconstruct your thought process. That's not how it works, man. And you know that. So musically speaking, I started playing music when I was 5. I did. My dad got my brother and I for Christmas several instruments, drums, guitars, stuff like that. And man, we just took off on them. Now, my dad was a great piano player. He was amazing, Gil. He was like the old Jerry Lee Lewis style guy.
Really?
Yeah, man, this guy could wear it out. You hear me? Anyway, so we had instruments around the house, and my dad never said, "Hey, why don't you play this? Won't you try this?" He just had the instruments there and let us be drawn, to whichever one that we liked at the time. And we really would. My brother and I, we really would. I'd go to drums for a few months, and he would go to guitar, and I'd go to guitar, and he would go to drums. And that's kind of the way we started out as really young, like I said, 5, 6, 7 years old, man. Until we got too loud, my dad put us in the backyard in a little metal business. Dang, man. So yeah, man, it's my musical journey was very young, and but I always knew, I love music, man. I love all styles, and I always said that music will move you, some kind of way. Now it may be like, oh man, that is amazing, or maybe, right, stop. I've had both of those. So anyway, but I always knew, man, that there was something else with music that I was missing. It was just, I could play. I've played with some of the best in the world, man. I in the early 90s, I went through Nashville with a group that I was with at the time. We were on Liberty Records, same label with Garth Brooks.
Wow.
So yeah, we mixed it up in the early 90s pretty heavily. But even at that, as cool as that was, there was still something I knew wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? As cool as all the dates and stuff that we played and the people we played with, there was still a little bit of a hole there. You understand, man?
Yeah,
So I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was there. I just knew that there was something in me that was unfulfilled in my music. And so I met a guy named David Vancouver.
Okay. Okay.
You ever heard of this guy?
Yeah, I've heard you just talk about him a lot. Yeah. He's been instrumental in the whole land and the retreat center.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very instrumental in all of that, the land, everything that we do here.
Mm-hmm.
But musically, he ended up coming to our home, and he stayed with Cindy and I 2 or 3 times in our home with us. Him and his wife at the time, and of course they both transitioned on now. But I just remember him saying stuff like, Bryan, everything's vibrating, man.
Yeah.
Everything vibrates. Everything has a sound and a tone.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah. What? What does that mean? And this guy just really took me down the rabbit hole of vibration and frequency and what that meant. And man, I just knew, Gil, that was something that I think that was what it was that was missing in my music, So man, this guy just really, he really educated me. He mentored me in frequency and vibration. And so I used to play when I was in Nashville. I played Roland keyboards at the time. And when he found out that I played Roland, he said, man, did you know that they have what's called a VK edition Roland keyboard, Vancouvering edition? Really? Yeah. I said, I did not know that because I played Roland keyboards, but he said, isn't that cool? So,
yeah.
So he said, yeah, the guys from China or Japan, wherever Roland was originated from, he said, man, they come to Orlando, Florida. I met them there. They flew in, and this guy got off the plane. He said his briefcase was handcuffed to him. He had these plans to make a VK, Vancouvering edition Roland keyboard. And I was like, are you serious, man? And so there went another conversation for he and I, because I played Roland keyboards at the time. And,
wow.
But now here we are in Meridian, Mississippi.
Yeah.
The home of TV electronics.
That's, keep going.
Yeah,
I just noticed that a few days ago. It's like, is that the PV? There's the logo.
Absolutely. That's the PV, man. And so PV made keyboards some years ago. And he was involved with that as well, man. So it was just really like,
wow.
He just opened up some really cool stuff as far as just my understanding with keyboards as well. But man, when he started talking about frequencies and vibrations and Bryan, you need to be playing in 432 tuning.
Yeah.
I said,
yeah.
Really? Why? Because I mean, everything I ever played was in the full 40 hertz.
Yeah.
And I said, really, man, why? He said, because that 432 tuning, he said, man, you feel that. It resonates with you in a deeper measure. Wow. Yeah.
And I use 432 in all of my meditation. No, just about all of my meditation music is 432. And it does seem to make a difference.
It really does. I tell people, Gil, it's like, you can't, there's only 8 hertz difference from 440. So likely you can't really hear it.
Yeah.
Only 4 hertz difference. Or 8 hertz, but you can feel it, man. Yeah. And I have had a lot of people say, dude, you're exactly right. You can feel it. And so again, David Vancouvering was one of the guys that really mentored me and schooled me to begin with on that. Yeah.
So before we go down this road on the frequency stuff, because I know that's where we're going to go here.
Okay.
I just want to back up because so I've moved here. I moved here because of you and Cindy. I moved here because of you guys. That's what brought me here. And the retreat center that you have, the land.
Yes.
So my property butts right up against your property. And, so, for me, it's kind of just been an expansion of what you guys are already doing. But that's what brought me here.
Right.
And I just feel like that since I've moved here that, things are just escalating and moving forward.
Yeah.
Even more so than I've seen in my own, work that I've been doing. So anyway, I love the connections that are made here. You and Cindy have got so many connections. It's just incredible. And, now to just be opening it up to doing more retreats and so forth, I'm loving what's happening here. So if anybody's watching you need to get connected here, find one of our websites, get some of the information. It'll be in the notes. So just check it out. Check it out.
Absolutely.
A lot of good stuff going on here. You want to get involved and come to one of the retreats or something. Or actually, I'm setting up here for people to come and stay, could be weeks, could be months, but kind of a work exchange program.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a lot of good stuff going on. This is
very good stuff.
What I'm wanting to do is create the eco village where, we're living with the land and for the land and just finding people of like minds. And they're coming.
They're coming.
Yep.
Cindy and I have been doing this for 20, 25 years now. And we've always known that this was coming, but it's not coming anymore, Gil. It's here. It's here, dude.
Yeah.
And we're super excited because some years ago we bought the land right next to here, right next to your place here.
Yeah.
And we would look over here from that place because we knew the guy that owned this, and we knew he was like doing a big remodel here, and just had like 12 acres of land, just really great place. And I remember Cindy and I talking like, "Oh Lord, please send somebody that that's community."
Yeah,
we really were, man. We were asking the Lord to send somebody that's like-minded and in community. And wow, here
we are. Here we are.
So it's very exciting.
It is
very exciting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back on track with what you do specifically, because I'm really excited about it. And I love your musical talent and your musical ability, and I love going out with you when you're singing and so forth. But it's kind of a hidden talent. It's on your website, but there is something here that I think so many more people need to know about. And is anybody else that you're aware of doing what you do?
Gil, there are a few people out there that do probably a lot more now than in the last few years. But I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy named Michael Terrell. Michael Terrell did Whole Tones.
Oh yes, I knew that. Yeah,
and I never met Michael, but we crossed paths through other people, kind of thing.
But even what he does, from what I understand, is different than what you do.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, all right.
But of course, a lot of people know about Michael Terrell and all that.
Right.
So anyway, so basically, what David Van Coovering taught me, along with some years ago, we were in Orlando. Cindy and I were in Orlando, and we were having lunch with a couple friend of ours. We're also distributors with Young Living Essential Oils, and these were friends of ours through the oils. And this lady, older couple too, this lady said to me, she said, "Bryan, how's the music and stuff going?" And I said, "Well, it's okay. But I think there's something else I need to be doing, right?" And so she said, "I think you need to meet a friend of mine, and her name is Sherry Edwards."
Okay, I've heard that name.
Sherry Edwards in Ohio. She has what's called a school of bioacoustics, life acoustic sound, life sound.
Okay.
And so I said, well, why do you think that? And she said, "I just know that you and her have something to do, And so I signed up for the school. It's a week-long, 5-day school. And Gil, I'm telling you, man, the first 2 days, it started on a Monday morning, and this is like 8-hour days, classes.
Yeah, okay.
It started on a Monday morning. Like Tuesday afternoon, I looked over at Cindy, and I was like, I have no clue why I'm here. This is like an advanced physics class or something. And this lady, she's a genius, incredibly smart. And she had a big, huge TV, and she had like 5 windows open at one time, man. And she's just everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't stay with her, And so on the third day, third morning, before anything ever started, and there was only like 6 people at this school, and she said to us that morning on the Wednesday morning, she said, "Hey y'all, do you know that the universe cycles in tones?" And Gil, when she said that, y'all, I'm telling you, I felt it right here, man. I said, Miss Sherry, what was that again? And she said, yeah, the universe cycles in sound. And she said, everyone is born under a certain sound, under a certain tone. And so,
Okay.
dude, I was like, I lit up, man. I was like, this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
When she started that, and we didn't talk a whole lot about that. When we finished the school, I got my diploma, and but I told Cindy on the way home, when I get home, I have a little studio myself, a music studio. I said, I've got to record some music in these tones, man, in these sounds. And so I did that, Gil. Every zodiac sign. And if you're weird about the zodiac, that's fine. The Bible calls it the Mazzaroth, same thing.
Yep.
So it's all good.
Right.
It's all good.
Right. It is.
I told Cindy, I've got to record some music in these tones. So I found out what they were. Each month or each sign has a tone and a note. And I found out that you couldn't get those tones and sounds unless you were tuned in 432.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what it does immediately is and Sherry Edwards said this. She said, when you listen to this, your body will remember your cellular memory. She said, your body will remember that sound. And she said, you will immediately balance. You'll immediately harmonize. And she said, your body will just remember. So it was really very cool. And I did all the zodiac signs. And so everyone has a song.
Yeah.
And
that's cool. And so that's available on your website, right?
Well, it will be.
Okay.
We have a lady right now. She's revamping my part of the website.
Yeah.
And because I have other music as well that we're adding. So yes, it will be on ASAP.
Okay.
Yeah,
so maybe by the time this airs, it'll be on there.
Maybe so.
Go check out the website.
Absolutely.
Again, it'll be in the notes.
Everyone is born under a certain sound.
Yeah.
And so.
Can I ask you something though?
Absolutely.
So, and maybe you may not have the answer to this, because I've always, when Chris Carter was around, we would have these discussions quite often. Yeah. But the side reel versus the tropical, and I think it's this, and I actually have no clue anymore. I don't remember, but one of them is based off of where the stars and everything, the constellations and so forth were aligned like 4,000 years ago.
Right.
Versus today.
Yes.
And yet everything's based off of that old chart of 4,000 years ago. And if that's the case, then when we're born, we're really not born under that system.
Right.
We're born under what it is today.
Right.
And like I said, I can't remember which one is which, but it seems like pretty much everybody goes with the old system.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that and why they do that?
I don't know. All I know about that is I do remember Chris Carter talking about that. And we, I didn't talk to Chris about that. But I think you and I talked about it a little bit, and we were saying that, okay, well, what if the old, I recorded the music by the old chart, but it's not the same now, or now it may be well,
I know for me, I'm according to the old system, I'm Capricorn.
Right, me as well.
The new, then I think it'd be the same for you. New system, I think I'm Sagittarius.
Right.
Yeah,
which is a little earlier. Sagittarius would be a little earlier than Capricorn, right?
Right.
But this is what I think on that part is that when I found out through Sherry Edwards about this, and my intention was to come into my studio and do these recordings. I think, just for me now, I think because my intention was to help people with this frequency music.
Right.
I think it's still, I've had too many people that it's helped, Gil. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For example, my sister passed back in July of this past year. She was a Leo, born July the 24th. She's a Leo, just a super person, man. I miss her greatly. But she was closer than a sister to me. We were buddies, man. We just loved to hang out and just, And so when she passed, which was very, very sudden, man, that really that got me. It really did.
Yeah.
So I listened to her birth note, her Leo.
Ah.
I needed to feel her sound
Yeah.
because she doesn't hear anymore.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And I've heard of other people doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
people that have passed on actually listening. I think you've told me stories of
That's
people
right.
that have done that it's really just brought some healing to them.
Absolutely. So I don't know. I understand what Chris Carter was saying, but I just know that this is definitely.
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
It just.
Well, I just want to put it out there to the community. Anybody who's listening, if you know some astrologers that maybe have some answers or some input to this, I'd love to see it in the comments. So
Absolutely.
I'd love to
love
hear
that.
what they have to say.
Absolutely.
And yeah. Anyway.
Absolutely. Hey,
Okay.
our buddy Johnny
Yes.
might help us on that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, yes, I listened to her. I missed her, man, and I missed being around her and her vibration because we're all drawn vibrationally.
Yeah.
And so, man, when she was gone, I just missed her greatly. And so I listened to her, her birth note. Man, it helped me greatly.
Wow.
Greatly.
Love
So,
that. And so that's, a good reason for, a lot of people, especially if they've lost loved ones.
Absolutely. And it also works. And I call these songs birth notes because that's kind of what Sherry Edwards called them. Because that's what they really are. You're born under a certain note of sound.
Yeah.
So I call them birth notes. And we've also had really good success with people who, again, have lost a loved one, but not just that. Maybe they've been through a bad divorce or every divorce is not good, But anyway, if they have difficulty getting past that trauma of a divorce or whatever like that, something like that, all they have to do is go listen to that person's note, their song, their birth note, their vibration is in it. Yeah. And so it really does. Man, we've had a ton of testimonies. Like, man, that really, really helped me to, and they really, a lot of people say they really feel that person very close to them at that time. So
that's amazing.
It's really beautiful. The vibrational thing is absolutely, it's the coolest thing, man.
Now, what does it do for somebody? I mean, just say if I play my birth note for myself, what is one maybe expecting to receive out of that?
Absolutely. It like Sherry said, it will harmonize you immediately. It'll line your chakras, and it will balance you.
Yeah.
If you're feeling scattered or just whatever, it'll bring you back into that balanced state. And it says, and we're still finding out cool stuff that happens to people when they listen to that. So,
have anybody that ever just kind of sleeps with it, has it on all the time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of people go to sleep when they're listening, which is a form of healing.
Yeah.
Sleep is absolutely a form of healing.
Right.
So they and the songs are not long. I think they're 6, maybe 7 minutes long. So it's not like you got to sit there, it's going to take you all day to listen to your note. It's not like that at all. So it's fairly short, but boy, the whatever note, like mine and your note, Capricorn.
Yeah.
Our note is an A, A note. And is a cool story here. I sing, when you told me a while ago, when I go out and sing, most of the songs I sing is in A. It's in my note.
Did you know that before?
No.
Did you have any connection to that?
Not a clue. And even since then, Gil had a good friend of mine in Chicago, a lady, and she came down to visit Cindy and I. She wanted to see the retreat and all that stuff. So she came down and we were talking about the birth notes, and she was just amazed. She didn't know exactly what she couldn't believe it really. And so I said, I'll tell you what, let's do. So we were in my studio and I said, why don't you just sing like a lullaby that you sang when you was a kid, a little girl or whatever. And she said, really? I said, just sing a cappella, just sing. So she starts singing this little song that she sang when she was a little girl. I go over to my keyboard, which is in my studio. I didn't even know what her note was. I go over to the keyboard, find her note, which was an F sharp, and look at her birth note. She was an F sharp.
Wow.
I don't remember
Wow.
I don't remember if it was like a Taurus or whatever,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she was actually singing in her birth note. She just was like, that is just amazing. So yeah,
That's
very cool.
very cool.
Very cool.
Okay, so now there's a whole other section now that you have ventured into, and you've been doing it for a few years, and that's the plants, the music of the plants and the frequency of the plants, and then creating music that actually, I can't remember the Japanese guy that did the whole thing with the water and the frequency in the water and being able to. Yeah, I mean,
Hashimoto or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, and finding out that you can take medicine and attune the water to the frequency of the medicine, and you can drink the water and get some of that same from it.
That's
and
right.
so you've discovered that you can do that with music as well.
You can, and with the now that was really another cool, very cool addition to what I was already doing, like with the birth notes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think for just a second. How I got. Someone contacted me about this device that came out of Damanhur, Italy. It was 40 years of research and study into this little device, about the size of a cell phone. You've seen them.
Yeah,
you have one.
You gave
That's
me
right.
one
Gave
back
you one.
back in the day.
That's
You
right,
gave me
man.
one. Yeah, I still have it. I
So
use it.
it's great. It's very small, compact, and what this thing will do, you clip it. Now it also has in the device, you can tune it. You can have the plant play in 432. It's built into the device. So that was one of the things that really sold me on it quickly, because not many people even know about that. You know,
I don't.
but yeah, so I can have a plant sing, and it'll be singing in 432. So it's.
Now, it makes me wonder, I mean, is there a natural frequency that they're already in? And again, I'm kind of clueless on how all this works. So
Yes, good question. And I'm not 100% sure, but I would venture to say that all plants are they resonate or they vibrate in 432.
yeah, because I mean, isn't the Earth 432?
Well, it has the 432 frequency. The Earth vibrates at the ohm frequency. I forget exactly what it is, but yeah, and again, all that stuff comes into play with our wholeness, and our spirituality.
Yeah.
It really does.
And you know, that's the point of grounding. It's the point of
Exactly.
the circadian rhythm. And for me, I love to ground and watch the sunrise.
Oh,
I
man.
love there's that just brings life to me.
I hear you.
And I know there's a lot of stuff in frequency. And then sometimes when I'm meditating in that space and time, that's just where everything opens up, and I just feel the connection to everything.
Absolutely.
And just feeling my part and just being a piece and a part of everything. And it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So the plant device is called the music of the plants. And basically all you do, Gil, is it has a probe that you stick into the ground and a clip that clips onto the green leaf. Now, if it's winter, it won't read like a, you know what I'm saying, a dead leaf. It has to have, it has to be a green live leaf. And
Interesting, which would indicate that, now, okay, that's a question right there. Because, I mean, everything is a frequency. Everything is a frequency, right? Even a dead leaf would still have a frequency because it's matter. And so it's energy. So I'm curious why that wouldn't register versus a green leaf. And even as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, well, it's picking up the life-giving, frequency into a live leaf, into the live ground or something like that. But the dead leaf is not necessarily vibrating with the plant itself.
It has to have
separated.
Water. It has to have a water that it reads off of that, and we're water.
Oh, okay.
You see,
All right,
so it has to have that green leaf to read that vibration of that leaf,
which has water in it
because of
alive.
the water. Exactly.
Yeah.
So oh man, that's the coolest stuff. The plant, you clip the leaf on, or you clip the clip onto the leaf, and it reads the vibration of that leaf and begins to play sound. Now, the little device is almost like a keyboard without keys. Like my keyboard has 180 different sounds in it.
Mm-hmm.
The device is that as well. It has that same capability, but in other words, the plant can sound like a piano if I want it to.
Right.
Or it can sound like an orchestra or
Angels.
angels.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's in the sound that you want to choose, you can choose the sound that the plant sounds like. Now, the melody of that plant is 100% the plant.
Yeah.
It is different at morning. I've done it. I like Cindy and I. We had a few years ago. We had some lavender plants, and on the back porch, and we would go out. And there's a cool story. Don't let me forget about the
lavender story.
No, the fig story.
The fig story.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were listening to this lavender plant on our back porch, and oh man, it just slipped my mind. Where was I going with that?
Well, the morning and the evening.
Yes. So we played the plant in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually play really well in the morning. It's almost like you were saying a while ago. Everything's coming to life.
Yeah.
Man, the plant's just singing away. At noon, it's a little different. You can tell the melody of that plant is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And then at sunset, it's slower. It's more methodic at the end of it. It's very cool. Huh? It's like us. It's almost like us. We're up and at 'em in the morning.
Yeah.
Noon, we get a little lunch and finish our day out in the afternoon or in the evening, and then we wind down. It's the plants do the exact same thing.
And all of nature does that.
All of nature does, exactly.
Because again, when I go out to watch the sunrise, I like to get out there about an hour early before it rises, just because
Absolutely.
I can hear nature. I mean, nature begins to wake up. All of the forest, the birds, everything begins to wake up. It's just beautiful.
It is absolutely beautiful. I love to hunt. Of course, here we are in Mississippi.
Right.
I love to hunt. And the morning hunts, which I don't do a lot anymore, but when I did hunt a lot, I loved hunting in the morning. Because like you said, man, everything's waking up.
Yeah.
Everything's making their sounds. The birds, it's just very beautiful, man.
It is.
So all of nature is
on
like,
that cycle.
On that cycle, yeah.
Interesting, yeah. Okay. So the lavender plant made different noises
at different times of the day.
Mm-hmm. Assuming probably every plant does that to some degree.
Yes.
Something else that I've done and noticed with the plant is that, hooking it up and literally just coming to a plant, kind of putting my arms around it with an intent and a heart of love toward the plant.
Absolutely.
And it will change. The tone of it changes.
Yeah.
And it's almost 100% of the time, almost.
Yeah.
Which to me is a very strong indication that it's real, that how you treat a plant is
absolutely
important,
absolutely.
And it will respond.
It will. I have a good friend who's a professor at Mississippi State, and I told her about this some years ago when I first got the devices, and she was like, she's a skeptic now. And she'll tell you that she is. And this is actually her what she's, and I'm telling you a little bit of it, but on our website when we get it done and the music is all on there, her testimony will be on the website as well. So that'll be cool.
Okay.
So anyway, this lady's just a genius, man. She's brilliant, but she was very skeptical. She's like, "What? A plant?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just come to the land." She said, "Come to the land, and let you listen to one."
Mm-hmm.
Now I will say this. I love to have people listen to it with headphones on.
Okay.
Especially headphones that have the left and right.
Really?
It makes
I've never done that.
Absolutely. It makes a ton of difference because of the left and right brain. Okay. So the plants are very powerful anyway, but it's almost like it goes up a notch when you listen with headphones.
I've never done that.
So I put this lady some headphones on. I forget what plant I had her listening to, but she was like, of course, she didn't tell me this at the time, but she was like, "Yeah, right." This is, she didn't know what it was going to sound like. She was thinking like some band or something, but she said, "Man, when it started playing," she said, "Dude, I almost started crying." It just, she said, there was something that was so real about that and so connected with her at that moment. Anyway, she just loved it. And she said, let's try another one. Cause she thought, well, this, she's trying to like, throw a little, throw me a curve is whatever.
Right.
So we got another plan. She listened to another and it totally different melody. I changed the sound as well. And of course I told her, I said, now this one's going to sound a little different, but man, by the time she probably listened to 30 or 45 minutes and she was absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, her testimony will be on on that website. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
So, now every plant has its own frequency. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So, you've also, we talked about how you could play music from different plants and get the effects. So share a little bit more on that. But you've got the music. You've created the music that, again, people can purchase on the website that is associated with the plants.
Cindy and I went to Costa Rica some years ago. I took the device down there, and which is really kind of cool because on these devices it has a little micro card that you can record onto that card and go from there. But so I had that card in. We go to Costa Rica, staying with some friends down there, and this place is a sustainable farm down in Costa Rica. Beautiful place, Gil. You would absolutely love it. It's what we want to do here, basically.
Yeah.
And so we go down to this little one-room hut thing, and just beautiful vine was just all over the front of this little cabin. And so I asked the guy, his name was Justin. I said, Justin, man, this is beautiful. What is this? And he says, it's ayahuasca. I said, really? He said, absolutely. I said, that's my first recording right there, man. So I recorded 15 minutes of ayahuasca. And just beautiful. Now it's very cool because, again, every plant sounds different. Okay, the melodies are different. But I had a buddy of mine here at the Lands a while back, and he wanted to hear some of the plants from Costa Rica. So I put the ayahuasca on for him, and in about 30 minutes, he was like, "Dude, I got to get up. I'm feeling nauseous here."
Yeah. And if anybody knows anything about ayahuasca,
it's definitely
usually there's a purging where it's like it was doing the work.
He was doing exactly. It was working, which is another. There we go, and segue into this. It was working, just like it was if he was doing ceremony with ayahuasca. So that's a very cool thing. Is that we're beginning to see how plants. They were created with purpose and intent, and they will do what they were created to do. Another little story here was, again, Cindy and I was on our back porch in the end of the summer, and we have a beautiful fig tree in our backyard. And they had already made they'd produced, and we'd gotten all the fig. We'd just go out and just eat them right off the tree, And so she said, hey, we listening to a plant, and she said, let's go listen to the fig tree. I said, yeah, let's go listen to it. So we walk out there, I get everything hooked up, and this fig tree takes off singing, man. It's just, I'm talking about immediately, Gil. It's just beautiful green summer, end of the summer, time. And I look at the tree, because like I said, most of the figs are not, they're gone. We've already eaten most of them. Well, I look up and I saw one. There was like one fig on this whole tree. Excuse me. And about the time I saw it, Cindy saw it. And I thought to myself, uh-oh, she loves figs. Gil, this tree is just singing away, man. She grabs that fig and picks it off and bites it and threw the stem away. Gil, this thing stopped. It stopped singing immediately, man. And I look at Cindy, I'm like, what is going on? What did you do? I said, you
traumatized it.
Traumatized the fig tree. She said, I didn't do it. All I did was just eat, I ate the fig. And I said, well, you made it mad or something, because it just quit. And so, excuse me, again, Cindy says, I want to apologize to the tree. So she just begins to talk to this fig tree, and she blessed it. She said, "Thank you so much for a whole summer of beautiful figs, and just thank you they're so good and so tasty." And she's just talking to this tree like I'm talking to you, Gil.
Yeah.
And she said, "I'm so sorry that I didn't ask. Could I have?" It's almost, and I'm sitting over there going, "This is like the apple tree on the Wizard of Oz, man. You know, where they got mad. They didn't ask for apples, right?" So anyway, when she apologized to this tree, Gil, off it went it took off singing again.
Wow.
And so it was just the coolest.
It makes me wonder, because, I tend to think that for the most part, human beings are the only creation that gets offended. I mean, totally could be wrong. I haven't really processed that a lot, but it seems like that.
Yeah.
But this seems to indicate that some of the trees can get offended as well, which, actually makes sense because, again, even the studies and the tests that they've done where, some people are speaking nasty and, being mean to their plants and they don't produce.
That's right.
The other ones,
there's studies, plenty of.
Yeah. So there's plenty of studies that would indicate the other as well. But you don't know if that is just simply a love frequency versus a negative energy frequency, or are they actually choosing to be offended?
Yeah.
It could be a little stretch. I don't know.
It could be. Exactly. So the plant music we do here at the land as well. It's a part of what I do.
Yeah.
As far as my part here musically and frequency with frequency and vibration, because my mentor over in Italy, before COVID hit, he and I were talking at least once a week, and boy, he was really educating me on how this thing really works and what they're seeing over there. And, they can do studies over there that we can't do in the States, and it's fine, whatever. But he was telling me some of the things that they do there. And he was telling me that the plant, they've done studies where they put people in a room with a certain kind of plant. Let's just say diabetes. I'm just pulling that. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there. Someone's diabetic. They put them in a room with very low EMFs. In other words, it's as clean as it can be as far as that kind of stuff.
Yeah, frequency.
And they bring a plant in that they know is very good for diabetes. Like in Costa Rica, I recorded a plant called the insulin plant. What do you think that's for?
Yeah.
Pretty simple. So they put this plant in the room with that person. And now, again, these are studies out of Damanhur, Italy. And he said, "Bryan, that plant it's almost like an MRI." He said, "It will scan that person as soon as they come into that room. The plant will scan that person's body and then begin to play the notes for that person's healing."
Wow.
Or their wellness and wholeness,
Yeah.
So I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow.
So isn't that beautiful, man? It's just,
it is
so very cool to me.
And again, it should hopefully, draw everybody back to, nature and just respecting it, honoring it, blessing it, being a part of it.
Yes.
Spending time with it.
Yes.
I mean, wow, it's a hard one when you live in a big city.
Ooh, it really is. But, Gil, I know a lot of people are waking up.
Yeah.
They really are. They're waking up to the power of nature. Like you said, the grounding, walking barefoot. I actually sleep. It's a David Vancouvering thing. I sleep with a grounding wristband on. So I'm grounded for at least 8 hours when I sleep, So yes, getting back into nature. And of course, again, being out in the country is just amazing.
Beautiful.
It's just beautiful. There's so many sounds. You have cows and crows, and it's just beautiful. They're all so connected with us, really.
Yeah.
So I just really am very grateful.
Yeah.
For.
So you got one other story that you haven't told yet.
Oh.
The lady that liked to I'm trying not to give it away. You remember?
So I always wanted to record a marijuana plant. I've never done that. I never, never did that kind of stuff when I was growing up and all that. I played sports, so I just didn't, I just didn't do it. But anyway, I always wanted to know when I found the device or got the plant device, well, I wonder what that sounds like. Okay. So I had one, and a guy gave it to me. It was about this tall when I got it. So I grew it. All of my friends are different. Yeah, I planted it out by the farm out there. No, I grew this thing. It was probably this high, this tall off the table. And it was playing at the land. Of course, Cindy's got all kind of plants and stuff in there, green stuff. And I had this plant, this pot plant playing. And this lady comes in who I've known my whole life. And she liked that, she
participated in that.
She was a participant with the plant. So very close to that, that vibration.
Right.
That's right. So she comes in and she said, of course, we're like, hey, how you doing? And all that kind of thing. And she hears the device playing. And because a lot of times I'll play it through, I have a little Bose sound system.
Right.
And if there's not a lot of people at the land, we run the plants through the sound system. So it's a little louder than just a little device,
Right.
Anyway, so she says, I had it playing through that. And she says, what is that playing? What's that music? And Cindy said, why? Do you like it? She said, it's beautiful.
So it was connecting with it.
She was very connected with the plant, man. So I looked at Cindy and I'm like, yep, it's so connected.
Wow. Love it.
Yeah. So that's, again, it's really, of course, we have a lot of fun with that, but it really is very, very beautiful the way the Father created. Creation is so connected, Gil, and how again he put intelligence in something like plants for our benefit, man.
Yeah.
We don't have to have a lot of the stuff that we think we have to have.
So we just went from the macro to the micro in the sense of starting with the constellations in the sky. I mean, that's macro. That's massive. And what you're talking about is that, creation has been done so precisely, so magically in so many ways.
Yeah.
Where even the stars speak to us. I mean, the Bible even says,
that's right.
That's exactly right. The seven sisters Pleiades would have influence over us, that there's influence there.
Yes.
And that influence starting from the macro and then coming all the way down to the cells of a plant.
That's right.
Where that has influence on us as well. It's
absolutely.
Like everything is connected.
Everything's connected.
And it's beautiful.
It is absolutely. It's a beautiful tapestry of frequency and vibration. And again, people are really, they're waking up to who they really are, who the Father created them to be. And man, it's just, we're getting so much help right now from nature and from the universe. I mean, it's just such a, man, it's amazing. You and I are sitting by the fire, and we're like, it's such a great time to be alive and
really
watching what's happening, So
I mean,
it's beautiful, man.
And you wonder about, well, how's technology fit into all that?
Right.
But we won't go down that road right now.
Not yet. Yeah, we'll do that. That's another show.
It is another show because it's powerful. And again, you get to look at it however you want to look at it. You can see it as positive, or you can put it into a negative twist.
That's right.
But it's all inside of creation. It's all in God. And so to me, it's like, if God's all powerful, which, there's a debate on that for a lot of people, but I believe he's all powerful. And if he doesn't like technology, I'm pretty sure he'll deal with it. He'll get rid of it.
Absolutely.
And I don't worry about it. And as long as it's here, I don't find it evil. I'm going to participate with it and use it for good.
That's right. And that's the whole thing is how your intention of using things, is like, again, the plant device, a keyboard is, they're very technical. I mean, they really are. You can actually, I have one keyboard I can go into a studio with, Gil, and play every instrument from horns to drums to anything.
Yeah.
Because that thing is so technical.
Yeah.
But it's all there. It's programmed.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, man, it's just, it's beautiful.
Okay. So we got about 5 6 minutes
Okay.
or so. Where do you see things going? Just where I would say you could get it down to us right here in the land and the pearl. I call my land the pearl.
Right.
Keep
Great
it
name
separate.
too, by the way.
I love what the download
Yeah.
was for
Yeah,
that.
great.
But with what's going on here, where do you see this going, or just where do you see the world going? Pick one. What do you
Right.
What do you want to?
Wow.
Whatever you want to run with. Like I said, we got
Yeah.
a little bit of time. So.
Yeah. Well, I really, I'm not very political. I just don't really do a lot of that. But I do believe that we're headed in the right direction now as a nation. I think that we're gonna go back. I guess is maybe the right words, but we'll go back to what this country was intended to do and be, and I think people are really interested in things now because of the technology, like you were saying. There's so much. If you don't know about frequency and vibration now, you're really kind of behind the 8 ball, and you don't want to know, because if you do want to know, it's all the information is there. Yeah. And of course, there's always some negative stuff, and most religions will point you another direction. I'm just going to throw that out there because that's been my experience. But that's okay. There's still people who are they're coming full circle, and they're going, man, this is cool, and this is working for me, and that's what you go on is working for me. So I think the world is at a great place right now. I really do, man. I think with the leadership that's come into politics and stuff right now, I really do think that there's gonna be a unity in the world like we haven't seen in a long, long time. Yeah. And I'm not saying this guy's going to bully this one into the no. I just think that it's going to be a unification of the nations. Yeah. And I'm excited. Again, man, like we saying around the fire the other, man, it's like, what a great time. It is. What a great time to be on the planet, man. We picked a good time to come here. Right. We really did. We really did.
And you wonder, it's like, in fact, I would think, if we actually made the choices to come here, I think we knew what we were coming here for. And
I do
for
too.
What time?
I do. I think where is it Jeremiah that says he knew me before I was ever formed in my mother's womb, and so to me, I've always felt like that says to me that my father and I, man, we had an intimate relationship. In other words, I do, man. I think he said, you can go and do this and do, if you choose to, you do this, and this. And so I do want to do that. I want to, and I'm getting on kind of up into the years a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. Yeah. But I want to make sure that what I've been called to do here is what I'm doing. And with the teachings and stuff on frequency and vibration, plants, all the stuff that you're doing and we're doing, man, it's just, again, it's just amazing to me that here we are, and it's coming together. Like we said earlier, it's not coming, it's here. Yeah. This stuff is happening. It's happening here at the Pearl. It's happening at the land, and people are coming. They're being drawn here, man. It's almost like a moth to a flame type thing, man.
It is quite amazing.
It is. And and we have, you said earlier, Cindy and I know a lot of people, and we do. We know a lot of people all around the world. But the cool thing is, Gil, I love all our connections, but man, some of the people that are coming, they're just like, hey, we saw you. It's gold, man. We saw your website or whatever, or somebody said something about this, and here we are, and we want to come stay with you guys. Dude, that's it, man.
I know.
That's it.
It's beautiful. And just the connection with people of like minds where, okay, so, since I've been, even before I came here, I was talking about, I'm looking for people of love, joy, peace, specifically people who know how to love without conditions.
Oh, man.
That to me is the big key. And it's a beautiful thing. And so many people are missing out in this area because they can't love without condition. They get so caught up and wound up in their programming that when they hear somebody say something that is against what they believe, they get all bent out of shape.
Right.
They're completely offended. And they feel like they have to correct and fix everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I think God's big enough to take care of that.
Right. Right. And
if it needs to be taken care of.
That's right. That's right. And in all honesty, I'm again at that age where I don't do drama.
Right.
I just don't, man. I don't have time for it. There's too much cool, awesome stuff happening right around me.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm very grateful for our community.
Yeah.
Very grateful for you, man. You made the move and came down and just jumped in here, man. So
it's been a blast.
It is a blast. I really have enjoyed hanging out with you and just
same here.
Just, yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I love the friendship that we've taken a lot deeper. It's been really good.
Absolutely.
And, hey, we're looking for other guys, other people that want to come and be part of the community. So if you have interest, again, there's connection information in the notes. Reach out, send us an email, or go to the website, or a lot of different ways to connect with us.
Absolutely.
But, Bryan, thank you.
Oh, man.
This has been so good.
Honored to be here.
And for those who are interested, we're gonna keep talking here for a little bit more. And I'm not sure exactly where we're gonna go. Maybe we'll talk more on the technology side. I don't know. I'm not sure what there's with AI. There's some really crazy stuff coming, and so maybe we'll go down that road. It'll be a surprise if you want to get on in the deeper dive. Go to kingdomtalksmedia.com, and if you become a member there, supporter of the ministry, then we are listener supported. So if you, I think it's $10 a month, so doesn't cost much, and you get the behind the scenes, and there's a lot of other things you'll get access to there as well. Some of the meditations that we do.
Absolutely,
so it's really
absolutely.
Good. All right. Well, again, thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Honored.
And bless you, everyone. We will see you all next time.